Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. I've had a pretty volatile morning, going completely off my face at Christopher. Didn't want to face from our last video, as you saw, that I was declaring that women are cursed and all these things, having a religious opinion. I was holding it and having it, and I was off my face. Didn't want to come into abstract. I accused him of everything under the sun, let the devil come into the house. And I can see what I've been doing on camera is completely unnecessary, because I've been worried about the audience. I've been thinking that anything abstract that comes from us is just going to sound ridiculous, so I have to explain it because I'm the knowledgeable one. It's all rubbish. I don't have to be that. We looked at the word hidden before, and we saw that Yahusha hides things to people and he reveals them to people, mainly the babes. And so I just am really sorry that I've put everybody in that place of just challenging Christopher all the time, making out that he's an idiot, he's old, he's senile, he's all these stupid things. When he's hearing Yahusha's voice, and I haven't been hearing it, not most of the time like he has. I hear bits and pieces, but nothing like I haven't been flowing that way and haven't been genuine, and yet I've felt I had to move this movement on, and I've just had to do it by being fake. And you're not stupid, you can see how fake I am. So I just am really sorry. Sorry to all of you for being a word I'm not going to say on camera.
We're all in a
process.
And Yahusha's revealing things to us.
So I'm excited now to see what the abstract is. I used to throw things to Christopher like, oh, it's abstract, is it? In other words, make up whatever you want. And it's not what he's doing at all. It's just that there's so much of the scripture to know that we don't know. It's been hidden. So I'm excited now to know what the abstract is, and it will, yeah.
And we want everybody to know that we haven't done any study on husband.
No.
None of us have looked at it. And we just want to, scripture says where two or more are gathered, then he's with us. So we're stepping into the place where we believe he is with us now. And he's going to reveal things to us about the husband now. We're having a relationship with the Creator. Doesn't his word say that we can have this?
Yes.
So if anyone tells you you can't have it, so as we go on about the word husband and we study it, we're just going to feel what the Spirit, what Yahusha is saying to us, and follow the vein of what's in husband for us. We don't know what's there, but we just trust and believe he's going to reveal something to us. And we want you all to know you can do this in spite of what seniority says. Yahusha won't reveal it to the self-righteous, but he will reveal it to babes. And if we look at what babes means, Yahusha said, who is the greatest? The one that can be like this child. So we have to humble ourselves and be concerned about all you guys out there watching this. So you can enter into the abstract and even do what we're doing if you want to. Okay, let's go on. What does it say about husband in Strong's?
All right, the Hebrew understanding for the word husband is from 199, soil, from its general redness, country, earth, ground, husband, land, probably because that's where he was created from.
Yep.
An unused root. A man as an individual or a male person. Champion, consent, fellow, husband, great, mighty, man, he, high, degree, husband, mankind, a steward, whosoever worthy, a man in general, bloodthirsty, certain, chapmen, divers, in the flower of their age, a husband, a certain, a mortal man, servant, person, stranger, those their trade, to be master, to marry, to have dominion over, to be husband, married, times wife, master, husband, an archer, a babbler, bird, captain, chief man, confederate, have to do, a dreamer, those to whom is due, furious, those who are given to it, great, hairy, he that hath it, he that have hair, horseman, husband, lord, man, married, master, person, sworn, thou. It goes on. Figure, a circumcised child, bridegroom, husband, son-in-law, brother's widow, husband's brother. That's pretty much it. Companion, fellow, friend, husband, lover, neighbour.
So looking into the Spirit here, feeling the Spirit, what popped out to you in that? We're looking for a vein to follow in the scripture. Anything there pop out to you guys?
Steward.
We need 4 answers here.
Steward and servant jumped out at me. Did you get the normal ones, master and all the high and lofty stuff, but it's the steward.
I've got the steward and the servant as well. And
I got the servant too.
That's the vein. What did you get done? You got the
Come
hairy.
on.
Hairy.
You're funny. No, that came to me. I thought, that ain't him.
Come on, Pina, get to the point.
No, more the stranger.
Okay.
Stranger. So what do you deduct from stranger? So we can look
Well, I
at the
didn't
vein.
associate that with husband. The
As a
word.
stranger?
Yeah.
So how do you interpret that? A husband comes to you and he's a stranger. How do you interpret it?
Well, as you've been living together
No, I mean before.
before,
Before you
yes.
get married,
Oh.
here comes a stranger.
In
And
that
it's
regards,
under
yes.
husband,
someone you don't know.
Yeah.
and you fall in love with. Okay?
But as I said, I didn't associate that with husband.
Right.
Because
Okay.
by the time you actually do get married, you usually know a fair amount about the person.
Did you really though when you look back now?
Well, you think you do.
Yeah.
When you have a look at Isaac's wife, she heard all about the stranger.
Yeah.
Rebecca, wasn't
Yeah, Rebecca.
it? Ask you a question.
Yeah, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Remember right?
So, Rebecca just heard all about him from the servant that went to pick her up. She lived in Abraham's hometown. He wanted his son Isaac to marry into the family.
Yeah.
So he went, the servant was sent with all sorts of gifts and everything to pick up this stranger. And he told her all about Isaac. And then he brought her there, and she saw this man walking towards them, and she said, "Who's this?" She knew straight away. So they went into his mother's tent and consummated. And that was their marriage.
Yeah.
That's what was considered in those days a marriage. People's words were understood, they're making a commitment.
Yeah.
So you can see what marriages turned out to be from those days.
Yeah.
It's just Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it's not the truth. So, there's the stranger she heard all about from the servant.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So in the vein, you're looking at a stranger. I'd like to understand that more, but we're looking at a servant. So let's have a look and see what the Spirit's going to reveal to us in the scripture.
You've been
You got to read the scripture, Mark.
there. Okay.
You're the face. Show your face. Show your face to everyone. Say hi.
Well,
Okay, then.
looking in the vein of the steward and the servant,
Yes.
the servant says, Colossians 3, husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them.
Is that all it says?
Oh yeah, in that bit. You could look it up if you want full context, but these are just cherry picked on Google.
Colossians 3,
Colossians 3:19.
19. Let the word of Messiah dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing with pleasure in your heart to the Master in psalms, songs and praise. And whatever you do in word, deed, do in the name of the Master Yahusha, giving thanks to Yahuah the Father. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands, as is proper to the Master. Husbands, love your wives and do not be bitter towards them. Children, obey your parents.
So we have family instruction there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at that,
Bitter is a better word. I mean, harsh, we're going out of harsh, but bitter is really,
what does it say about bitter?
well, the BYNB says, husbands, love your wives and do not be bitter towards them.
All right.
Whereas this religious version probably it just says, do not be harsh with them. But bitter means is a lot deeper rooted, holding a list of, whereas harsh is just a loud voice to me, I think. Or
Right.
I think this version's better.
So when you look at that, what do you see in that vein that you're talking about? Why does that affect you about bitterness to your wife?
Because you hold things and you listen to your little confidant on your shoulder that says things about her all the time.
You mean the devil?
The devil. Yeah. The devil. Yeah. And you go through a few hours of it and you go, I'm exhausted, I don't even feel like that about it. Why am I just listening to this? This crap.
And what's your answer?
I don't have to. Get lost. Because then she'll come up to me and do something nice or whatever, and I think, who's this idiot? Who am I listening to? It's not even real for this day in this reality that we're going through. It's not even relevant what he's saying. Could be something from yonks ago. Oh look, she's still doing it, and then she'll come up and say something nice or help in some way, and I just think, what's this?
So you know the devil very well.
Oh, very well. Very well.
And you can deal with it because you're covered in asphalt.
Bitumen.
So anything strike you two girls in that?
I've seen you have such a massive change since I've met you in this aspect. Even just now when we've all agreed on a word and Trace had another word. In the past it would have been, let's stay on the subject, but you're just so understanding and not harsh, not an accusatory.
Accuser.
Just soft. That's what I want. To be soft. You know, you can't fake soft. You can't fake soft. You just got to grow in it. So that's what I'm upset about.
So do you girls have anything to say about that?
Husbands, love your wives and do not be bitter towards them.
Yes. What vein are you following there?
I was looking at, well, for them to serve in the word that we we've looked up in the Hebrew about them serving. They're to serve their wives by loving them and encouraging and loving them and caring. Don't be harsh, don't be bitter, don't do anything to disturb them in that way.
Have you been doing that to your husband?
No. Not always, no.
The husband's supposed
The
to be
husband's
doing
got
it.
to do it to me.
Yeah, and I'm asking you if you
I'm not a
like
husband.
twisting it around being silly. Yeah, that's
You're
right.
being
You're not
silly.
a husband.
I'm not that.
Yeah, good.
I actually get a different context
Yeah.
because
Here comes a stranger.
from the stranger perspective, fine.
Yeah.
No, in reading that the husbands shouldn't be bitter and they should love their wives, I'm actually getting it as a what you do to your wives, you're actually doing to Yahusha. So therefore, if you're bitter, judgmental, and whatever to your wives, you are exactly the same to Yahusha.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting from it.
Yes.
So.
Well, I'm the fourth answer. My answer is, what is love? That a husband is just told, love your wife.
Go on. Love her.
What does, we looked up love in the other one, what does love mean?
Oh, a whole treasure trail of suffering and
Being
not
kind
just, not just hard things.
and suffering, everything that your wife goes through.
So it's a very, very tall order.
Yeah.
As you said, he's got to serve his wife
Yeah, it's a
by
test.
loving her. He's got to put himself aside and give his full, undivided attention to her until she realizes and that he loves her and she trusts him. And whatever you do, you never break that trust with your wife. The only way that once Yahusha gives the command to love your wife, the only way to break that is through listening to Satan.
Yeah.
So what is love? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 13 again.
Yeah.
Now girls, I want you to hold your finger up when you read this
Yeah.
towards us men.
That's it.
What
You read half Therese and Victoria can read
I
half.
can't find it because he's rearranged all the books.
1
Just
Corinthians.
after Romans.
Give her the page number.
Oh, 1118. 1119.
All right, Victoria, you read the first half. We're stopping me about the glass when I look through the mirror as a glass.
If I speak with the tongues of men and of messengers, but do not have love, I have become as sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophecy and know all secrets and all knowledge, and if I have all belief, so as to remove mountains, but I do not have love, I am none at all.
So what does that say to the man, girls?
Don't matter what you're doing if it's not.
Well, if
You're not a girl.
they're professing that they have all the knowledge of the scripture, of the world, of the word, of the everything, and they don't have love, well, it's just going to ring not true. It's going to be a clanging bell.
And what should your reaction be to that, Victoria, if you're confronted with that sort of behaviour as a wife?
To let you have it.
And what will happen to me when you let me have it and you're walking with Yahusha and you know you're right?
It'll go back on you, what you're doing, that you're professing to know and have an ego in your knowledge or clanging bell.
And what will happen to me?
You'll feel dreadful.
What will Yahusha do to me?
Yahusha will chastise you and
Get
flog you.
down, Christopher. Get down. And I have to shut up and apologise to you
Oh
for
my
being
goodness.
that sort of a person. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's the right you have as a wife.
Wow.
And you've built a relationship, a foundation, platform. You've got your 3 shields there to help you, and Yahusha will smash me if I do stuff at you.
It's true.
Won't it?
Yes.
Very true.
So you've got to know that that's who you are as a woman, and you have every right to speak out and say, that's not good behaviour. Once you build the foundation, you know you love each other, and you know he's in it. But you've got to be brave enough to confront his behaviour, what'll come back at you. You know what my old saying is, if we had an argument earlier in our life, or even now, I would say, okay, so we're getting divorced, are we? Every argument ends in divorce.
Yeah, that stops it.
And we just laugh.
Yeah.
You want to say something, sweetie?
No.
All right, have you finished your half yet?
No. If I give out all my possessions to feed the poor, and I give my body to be burned, but do not have love, I am not profited at all.
So you can set your body on fire to prove to someone that you've got love.
Doesn't prove it. You got nothing.
And look at all these people that set themselves on fire.
Yeah.
Prove it. Ridiculous.
Fire of emotions.
Mm.
Love is patient, is kind. Love does not envy.
How far away are you from a spyglass?
Spyglass is right down the end. I'm just going to go to
All right.
verse 6.
Okay.
Love
Love is
is patient, kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast, is not puffed up, does not behave indecently, does not seek its own, is not provoked, reckons not the evil. Okay.
Now you girls as believers should know your rights. You should know how you are to be behaved at by the husband. You should know the husband has to behave this way towards you. And if you don't speak out about it, you're going to suffer. You'll get the whack, 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 whack.
Yeah,
Whack,
that's
whack,
true,
whack,
isn't it?
So you have to stand up for your rights. You got married, you've taken vows. This is what Yahusha expects the husband to behave to the wife like. And if he's not, he's out of order. And if you don't speak out to him, you're stupid and you deserve what you get.
Yeah.
You come under it and get hurt and, you know, take it all personal and go through all that. You're suffering. You're suffering because of your own stupidity. The husband has to behave towards you in this fashion. No matter what. You make mistakes, whatever, he's still got to love you and cover it.
Wow.
You have these rights. All you girls out there have these rights. If you don't take hold of them, you're foolish. Because they're given to us, and all it takes is to speak out. If he's going to be rude, go into your room and close the door. I do nothing for you anymore till you'll see the point. I not come out, wash, cook, clean, nothing. Not go to work, nothing. I will live in my room till you wake up. I'm not going to help you with the 24 kids. I'm too busy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So the believing women must know what Yahusha expects a husband to behave towards you like. And you must stand up for it and bring that into your home. Don't put up with it. If you do, you're foolish and stupid.
Yeah.
No more rubbish, girls out there. No more rubbish. Now, if you've got an unbelieving husband, I suppose it's a bit different. But you can behave what Yahusha tells you to do to your husband. And if you do it the right way, even then you can speak out and say, that's not very nice or whatever. Just quietly, gently, and in love. Scripture says he will be converted by your behaviour.
Yes.
It's all about behaviour. Now you girls here and out there have to take hold of this and know your spiritual rights. Because to do the opposite towards this to you girls, and you girls out there, is breaking Yahuah's laws. And that's called sin. And anyone that does that will be punished. And you can walk around with asphalt all over you, knowing you've got the fountain in there to drink from. You're safe, you're free.
Yeah.
Nothing will touch you if you stay in this behaviour. Okay, you're finishing love?
Okay, so does not behave indecently, does not seek its own,
Can't hear you, dear.
is not
Number
provoked,
6.
All right,
reckons not the
do
evil.
that to me.
He told us we
She's
could.
taking these rights.
Good.
And does not rejoice over the unrighteous, but rejoices in the truth. It covers all, believes all, expects all, endures all.
I like expects all. As a wife, and we're talking about love, you should expect all. Everything he's got to give. You should expect that. But it's not in an arrogant, rude way that you expect it. Expecting is where?
In the heart.
And your trust with,
Yahusha.
and you'll see it come about if you behave it.
Wow. That's
See?
wonderful.
These are your rights.
Brilliant.
Love never fails. And whether there be prophecy,
Love.
never fails.
So if you do the love, you will never fail.
Yeah,
Will you?
it's because it's itching.
Will you?
No.
You'll never fail if you do the love.
Wow.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
This is what a husband's got to give you. You should know your rights. Girls, you should know your rights and know how to get Yahusha to give him a big whack. Go on, darling.
And whether there be prophecies, they shall be inactive.
Yeah.
Or tongues, they shall cease.
Yeah.
Or knowledge, it shall be inactive.
Yeah.
For we know in part, and we prophesy in part.
Yeah.
But when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part shall be inactive.
So what are we talking about?
Love.
Yeah. When it's perfect, when everyone's doing it, those prophecies and stuff, what?
They're no
Who
use.
needs it?
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
You don't have to feel pushed in a meeting where you've got to prophesy, you've got to speak out, you've got to. We're
Yeah.
there to worship him,
Worship,
to
yeah, love him,
adore
worship.
him, praise him. Yeah, go on, darling.
When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, I reasoned as a child. When I became a man, I did away with childish things. For now we see in a mirror, dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know, as I also have been known. I now believe. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and now belief, just roll with it.
And now belief, expectation, and love remain these three. But the greatest of these is love.
So can we see why love would be the greatest?
Yeah.
This is the maturity a man has to reach to prove himself to Yahusha, that he will put himself aside for his wife.
Yeah.
And she must know that he's done that. She must realise that he's doing this for her because of
Love.
And when love's flowing through the husband and wife, it can flow out to others. Now the body has a big blockage about this.
Yes.
Men are not doing this.
No.
Women are not doing this. That's the confrontation, but that's the worldly confrontation. But if a woman knows her rights in Yahusha, knows his law, knows what's expected, and won't put up with the wrong thing, then she's flowing in Yahusha's love. She's covered.
Yeah.
She's protected. And all the ladies should be going for this, and so should the men. But it just says there, men, love your wives. What do you think now about that statement? Men, love your wives.
Oh, it's just, it's got so much involved in it. It's more than, just love your wife. You've got to go all the way and just all that care and consideration and concern and
Now remember, we're
everything.
speaking to the brothers and sisters. How do you really feel about this?
Oh, I feel wonderful. I just think it's the most amazing understanding. I've never thought of it this way. I've never heard or seen that the rights that a woman has to expect that.
That's because of the religious aspect. Because
Women are cursed.
women are
Sorry,
cursed.
Mark.
No, because if you look at it from the religious perspective and what they teach, it's women are lower and
Well, when you go out into the world, say like shopping, you're going out shopping, right? And those attitudes are in the environment.
yeah.
Now, you should walk through that environment, not even giving those attitudes a thought. When some male might walk in front of you on purpose or show you disrespect, or at the cash register they have attitudes and give you that disrespect. So you know your rights in Yahusha.
Yeah.
Even though you're in Yahusha, you're not part of the world. Right? So you shouldn't even bother or worry about attitudes that are going to come at you from the world or from religion. As a matter of fact, you just detest it, you have no respect for it, you keep your face calm, you don't get involved in it, and you do your shopping. Right? Or any other environment you go in where that sort of attitude's coming at you, you just say to yourself, you poor dear, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Because you're a daughter of Yahusha. You know your rights. You're doing it right by... you're never rude or awful to them because they've disrespected you. You just show graciousness, sweetness, understanding and kindness.
Yeah.
That's how a woman should behave. Anything more, girls, you want to say?
Just this is so different. This is so different to how I've ever looked at a woman's role, or a husband's role actually, of how he's meant to be and how the love is to cover, the love is to, and not be harsh to women, not in any way, just to love. That the fullness of the word, what the word means, it's just so...
Husbands, love your wives.
it's the most beautiful thing, and you can see that it's from Yahusha because it's just so full and so full of compassion and full of encouragement and care.
And you can feel Yahusha's
Yeah.
opening that to you and revealing to you something you didn't know before.
No.
All these years on earth and you've been missing
Yes.
out. We're all just
Yes.
understanding this now, the roles we have to play. And we're telling the brothers and sisters because we're getting it from Yahusha.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to dispute what we're saying, that's fine.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I can see it.
We're not wanting a confession from you, Mark. We just want what you feel.
Abstract.
Devastated.
Devastated?
Devastated. Yeah.
Why?
Because I've done the complete opposite.
But you didn't know.
It doesn't. That doesn't. That's just an excuse.
How did you know this?
I didn't.
That's right.
But I just
That's what
looking
we're
at
caught
it.
up in.
So when you look at it, what do you see? Do you hate it, not want to do it?
No, I can see that this is the way that it works. As I've seen a lot of what you've been through with your wife, and I see that you've gone here. You tried everything else, didn't work. You've gone here. You haven't ever expressed it like this because it's fresh, but I could see this has been my example, and in a lot of ways I thought, I actually said it to myself, or the devil did, yeah, I'm not doing that. I can see what he's done for her, that's just so pathetic, I'm not doing that. Forget it. How could you decorate? Oh, forget it, I'm not going there. And I reap the benefit of that, or the curse of it. I reap what I've sown. I spent the first few years not even treating her like a believer. Like, just, what are you here for? You know, like what? Still raises its ugly head.
We don't want to offend the lady that tells us we shouldn't air our dirty laundry, do we? And she
It helps
turned it
people.
off halfway
Yeah,
through.
turn it off. About now you should turn it off. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's all I can see. That, or even the bit about where the gifts and the prophecies and the tongues and the knowledge. I'm just trying to run a Pharisee religious thing, like when, hey, and all the love's happening outside. Even last night, you're out there talking to the boys, and I'm like,
Victor
There's
said
love
you were
happening.
upset with
there's
me.
love happening there, and I'm like, can we start?
Why didn't you say?
I know what you're doing is more important than this, but I
No.
was just full of demons.
I just got caught up. I was
I know.
waiting. I heard you singing that song you were practicing, so I thought, oh well, they'll tell me.
Yeah, we got a few more rehearsals and it was great. Let's just, I really just have to turn all the demons off because they hate my guts and they definitely hate yours. And they hate yours.
I'm glad.
And yours
Thanks.
too.
I'm glad. It means we must be some sort of a threat
Yes.
to
Yeah,
them. Because this is going out to the brothers and sisters.
yeah.
Yeah?
So,
So
I
how
could see.
do you feel about the job you've got to do now? Shouldn't be too hard, should
Well,
it?
I just kind of see your life flash before your eyes.
Hmm.
I've run off to do this task or run off to do that task instead of loving. Run off to, I've got to organise this, I've got to organise that instead of loving. And you find if you just spend the time and love, you probably have this team of people who do half the stuff for you.
Yep.
That's what you'd spend all the time with us over the years, and I thought, that's why you had such a good team of people around. Oh, people walk away and stuff, but like you'd spend the time and they do half the tasks for him. It's wonderful. And they do it out of love.
Hmm.
Instead of trying to do everything yourself. Judging everybody. It's showing me a lot. Love it's all about love. You never know what love means.
Well, what's it say? The greatest of all?
Of these is love.
Yeah.
So what can you girls expect
To be loved.
by?
Our husbands.
Yeah.
I am.
Don't settle for anything less.
Yeah, well, you've got to speak out. You've got to stand. The girls have to actually do it as well as the guys do. But the guys are just told what? Love your wife.
Go on.
Do it.
Yeah, we just get upset. There's lists and lists and lists of things that ladies are and are not to do, and we just get love.
Yeah.
Work it out.
Yeah. How hard's that? Not hard.
Yeah.
If you see what he's written down, he's told us what love is, how to behave love, and just be genuine and real.
Yeah.
And she's got to expect a husband to give her that. And if you look at her and she's not happy, you have to immediately get over to the side, what's going on. But if she uses it to trick him just to get some lovey-dovey's, you've got to know the difference between the
She
two.
wouldn't do that.
No. Never.
Yeah.
Okay, so you both didn't know this.
Not at all.
So now
Yeah.
you can start doing it.
Yeah.
Because everything really comes down to love,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know? And it's the greatest of all.
Yeah.
You don't need all the religious prophecies and stuff going down. Word of wisdom, word of knowledge. Because if love's there, it's perfect. When what's perfect comes,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's what everyone's craving, isn't it?
And all you have to do is do it. You just start a platform of love and just build from it. Make sure what you say to your wife is not going to be offensive and hurt her. Not going to be harsh to her. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yes.
Well,
What a wonderful word.
I don't think we need to go any further with the instruction for husbands because it covers every area really,
It
doesn't
covers
it?
it all.
You can read through the scriptures about husbands, the rest of it.
Well, they all say love.
Yeah.
Love.
Well, that's a tall order for all the men out there. You have to love your wife. Yeah, love your wife. Go on.
Yeah.
Do it. Love your
Love your
wife.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, love us.
Yeah. That's it.
Love you, darling. I do.
Love you too.
I do. Love you. Now we know how to do it.
Okay, brothers and sisters, we hope this is a benefit and that you look in the abstract at not only this but many other things. We love you, we're concerned for you, we think about you, pray for you. Bye.